Good morning. It's a new day. 66. There's a breeze. It's beautiful. I'm leaving my subdivision to walk over to the park and try and do another 5-mile day. Yesterday the shoes I tried worked pretty well. I'm trying them again today. I put on a different pair this morning. I told you I had gotten it down to 3 pairs. And they rubbed against my baby toe, so those are out. Now I'm down to 2 pairs of boots and 1 pair of Hoka speed coats to try and make a decision. Both of the boots are Keens. And turn this around so you can see how I walk from my subdivision to the park. I'm getting ready to exit my subdivision. So I have to cross this busy street. There's a car coming there and a dangerous curve up there. Lots of wrecks up there. Anyway, we are going to cross over. At 4:30 in the morning, the street is pretty safe. At 6 o'clock, it's just as busy as it is right now. Okay, here's the entrance to the park. I love this park. I'm coming in the back end. The building on the right is a restroom. I think that's beautiful. Those stairs lead up to a golf tee. This is where I come in first thing, and if you look at that tallest tree there, right here, those two, that's usually where the barred owls are that greet me in the morning. I love that. It's just rained. The bullfrogs and the crickets and everything over here in this little soupy area, they are so loud. I love this little bridge. I've been asked what my thoughts are on if it's best to hike SOBO or NOBO. And you know, every hiker is different. It's like hiking clothes, hiking food. It just depends on the hiker and what they like, what they want to do. I am a linear thinker. To me, it made sense to start at Amicalola and go to Katahdin. Now, for my formal Thru-Hike, I started at Springer, but I had already done 2 shakedown hikes where I had done Amicalola to Springer. That's why I didn't start at Amicalola whenever I started my actual Thru-Hike. My goal and what I wanted to do when setting off for my Thru-Hike was start at Springer and hike to Katahdin. That's what we just walked up. And we're coming up here to an old golf tee. And for those of you that have been with me from the beginning, you remember this. I used it several times when doing previous videos. So it goes around, and then I go down that hill and go back up. Hiking NOBO for me, when you're hiking to Katahdin, you have this anticipation. You have this anticipation of going through the whites and, you know, all the different major mountain ranges to get where you want to go. And you're hiking up a monument to get to Katahdin. When you get there, there's a big sign that says Katahdin. People cry, they get on their knees, they rejoice. That's what we just finished. Now we're going to continue going up, just a little up. When you're hiking SOBO, when you get to the end, you're looking at a boulder, a small boulder in the ground that has a plaque. I know this sounds funny, but apparently your big toes are connected to your heel. And what I mean is this. I've learned through physical therapy that if you don't bend your big toes and you don't use them properly, that's part of what causes plantar fasciitis, part, and Achilles tendonitis. When I was in those ultra lone peaks, I did not walk heel to toe, heel to toe. I kind of walked like this because, whew, they're zero drop shoes. Well, when you walk like that, for me, I was not bending my big toes. That's part of what caused my problem. I'm having to conscientiously think about, am I walking heel to toe, and am I bending my big toes? It sounds so counterintuitive because you grow up learning how to walk and you walk the right way. But even after 4 months, I'm still going heel toe, bend your toes. And thus, my toes hurt, my big toes, and that's okay. They're just not used to doing all that exercise that I'm asking them to do. I'm hoping that learning to use my big toes and continuing to go through physical therapy is going to help me be more successful when I return to trail. What I do when I'm training is I go up and down as I'm going across instead of just following this trail. That's working out my calves, my shins, my Achilles tendon, and my fascia. This is an 18-hole golf course. Every time I come up to a sand trap, when I'm not on that pathway up there, that asphalt pathway, I actually walk down and walk back up the side. That's a pretty steep side, just for training and for working out my Achilles tendon. I know this might not look difficult to some of you, but for me, it is a huge challenge. Good morning, sun. Yay, beauty. It's everywhere. All you have to do is look. I want to tell you a story. It's about toxic relationships. You know, there are some people in this life that automatically draw individuals to them that are not the best relationship to have, not the best person to be drawn to. It just happens. It's the way life is. If you're one of those people, you need to start questioning why. Are you an enabler? Do you have white coat syndrome, where you feel like you need to fix everything? You know, a doctor's coat, white coats. That's what white coat syndrome is. Toxic relationships. They're amazing. If there's anything in this life that will devalue you more, it's to be in a toxic relationship with a partner, a lover, a friend, a relative. The reason it diminishes your value is because, first of all, let's start from the beginning. You have great value, great worth. You're awesome. You're incredible. Are you being strong? Are you being brave? Are you being beautiful inside your mind and your heart? Well, that's your value, right? It's your character. When you have a relationship with someone that's toxic, they take some of that from you. You're giving it to them. They don't just take it, you're volunteering to give it to them. And it devalues you as a person, as a human, as a woman, as a man, as a child. You need to think about what your value is worth. Is it worth giving away to someone that doesn't appreciate it and treats you poorly? I can talk about this, and I can talk about it with authority, because I was the queen of that kingdom for a long time. I'm not anymore. No ma'am. No sir. I'm not going to say with age comes wisdom, because wisdom can come at any age. But I am going to say this. After years of experience of being a giver, it brings me joy. I love giving to other people, listening, encouraging, being there for them. And when it makes a difference, when it helps, you go, thank you, God, for working through me to help that person. When it doesn't make any difference, they come back for another helping and another helping. They're chipping away at your value. You're giving away your value for free. It's not free. It comes at a cost. The cost is you're not living up to your potential. If you're in a relationship with somebody that's doing that to you, walk away. You're going to say, well, it's just not that easy. And I'm going to respond to you. It may not be easy, but it's worth it. Walk away. Walk away, be strong. Find your joy, find your passion. Let's say you're married and you don't make as much money as your husband, and you have children, and you're like, how am I going to support them? This is scary. I need to stay with him because of that. No, you can get a second job. You can find a way. I know. I did it. I worked 3 jobs as a single mom. I did it. Was I scared? You better believe I was scared. Did I think I could do it? It was very questionable. But I did it. And I became stronger for it. I became very independent. If you're with somebody that is physically or mentally abusing you, walk away. Walk away. This world is big. There are lots of opportunities. There are lots of groups. Find one. Find a friend. And when you have gone to that friend, give back at some point. Maybe not to her, but to someone else. And she'll see it. She'll see that her gift of giving lived on through you. The reason I'm sharing this story is because someone I know that I love is a giver just like me. And she has given and given. And the person that she has given to began taking advantage of her. And my friend was getting more and more upset, feeling more and more used. And after 2 years of this, I said, and then what? You remember that story? I'll put the video down here if you don't know what I'm talking about. she knew what I meant. When are you going to drop the rope and let it go and move on? And she said, I don't know how to do that. I said, well, I do. Let me help you. Let me give you suggestions and take what you can use, forget what you can't, and move on. And she did. And I am so happy because it was diminishing her self-worth, her self-esteem, frustrating her. If you have a family, children, husband, doesn't matter, significant other, and you're frustrated and angry, it permeates the walls of your home. It permeates you. You can't hide it from your family. They may not know exactly what's going on, but they know you're not just right. So what you're doing when you give to a person that is toxic and doesn't appreciate it, doesn't change, stays the same, you're stealing from your family. You're stealing the good mood in the house that should be there, the love that should permeate your relationships, because you gave it away. You gave that portion of you away. It's not yours to have anymore. I'd like to suggest that's not the best. Everybody makes their own decisions, and they live with the consequences of those decisions. Every action has a consequence, good or bad, and rarely, if ever, does it affect just one person. Almost never. It's just something to think about today. Gratefulness, love, appreciation, knowing who you are, what you are, why you're the way you are, being strong, being decisive, being kind, being kind, being kind. That's what our world should be about. Nothing else. If you want to use your value, use it to make a difference in a positive way. Volunteer at a school, work with children, spend time with the elderly, read them a book, volunteer at a soup kitchen, work with Special Olympics, volunteer at the library on a Saturday to read to children. Hospitals used to let volunteers come in to hold babies and rock them and feed them. I used to do that. I loved it. I worked at the university hospital setting, so on my lunch hour, I could go over there and work with these little sweet ones whose parents had abandoned them, and they didn't have anybody to touch them and let them know someone in this world cared, even as an infant. You'll find something. I have faith in you. I have to tell you, I have an earphone in, and I'm listening to music as I'm doing this video. My little love, Axel, my grandson, he loves Imagine Dragons. The band Imagine Dragons. That is some funky music. And I have that in here. And every time one of those songs come on, all I can see is him dancing with wild abandon. He is so funny. I pose this question to you. When was the last time you danced with wild abandon? You didn't care what anybody thought. It didn't matter if you have any rhythm. You just danced. And you danced because you were happy. I do that when I'm upstairs in my bonus room. And I have that music turned way up. The walls are shaking. And I'm working out. And I start dancing. And it makes me happy. Try it. See how it works for you. If you're in a wheelchair, can't walk, you're handicapped, turn on the music and let your heart and your mind dance. Doesn't have to be any part of your body. As long as you go there mentally, you're dancing. I feel compelled to share this last thing. Some hikers think that the videos that I have don't have a lot to do with hiking at times, and maybe, you know, I could talk more about the trail and things, and I do talk about the trail. I love the trail. I love hiking. But you know what? There's more to life than hiking, and yes, it is a hiking channel. I would say that getting your mind right before you go, having good perspectives, changing the way you think, becoming stronger, becoming braver, perhaps becoming kinder, and having a different outlook on life is going to do nothing but set you up for better success on the trail. It makes me, it overwhelms my spirit to know that people have gotten on the treadmill because they watched a video. They've actually gone and bought gear and gone hiking because they watched some videos. They've gone on a day hike, a section hike. They've hiked harder. They've trained harder. They're not going on a hike. They started swimming. Some of them walked around the block holding their hand, the hand of their sweetheart. That's why I'm here. Get up. Do something. For your mind, for your heart, for your physicality. Do something. Make a change. Today's a good day. Life is beautiful. It's beautiful. No matter what you're going through, if you look around, life is beautiful. You only have today. You're not promised tomorrow. Do something with the day that you have. Something positive, meaningful, something that just makes you smile, even if it's just for a minute. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm going to try and remember to start doing this, mentioning at least one song of the day that makes a difference to me. And I just finished listening to Eddie Vedder's Got No Ceiling, or No Ceiling. I'm not sure the exact title of that song. It's appropriate. If y'all haven't heard it, listen to it. It's a fantastic song. So, I'm going to close today with joy and love and telling you how much I appreciate you still. You continue to walk on this journey with me. You encourage and inspire me. You have made a difference in my life because you're givers, and I don't take you for granted, ever. So until next time, y'all take good care, and I'll see you in my next video.